When we talk about interest, one of the things that we usually are talking about is that you are earning interest on money. So I like to think of banks. Well, one thing we have is what's called simple interest. Simple interest would be the amount of money that you are earning, or the interest on your money that is being paid over a period of time. We have a very simple formula for that, I equals PRT. But in order to use this formula, you have to know the variables. So here we go. I is your interest. The interest is talking about what you have earned or what's being paid out. P is your principal, i.e. it is the amount that is invested or borrowed, i.e. it's what you put in. Okay. R is your rate. Most of the time we are given an annual rate, and it is given in decimal or fraction form. If it is given to you in a percent, then you need to convert it to a decimal. Okay? And then T is your time. Now what's really important about time is that time in these problems is always in years. What that means is if your time was given to you in days or months, then you must convert it into years before you do anything with your problem. So I wanted to look at just a couple different types of examples that you may see when dealing with simple interest problems. So this first one is a problem where all the information has been given to you. So here we're telling you that your principal is 600, your rate of interest is 7.43%, and your time is 4 months. So there's a few things that you have to do first. First is your rate has to be converted. So we're told you that it's 7.43%. In order to change it to a decimal, it says that we have to divide by 100%. So my decimal form here is going to end up being 0.0743. Now it's very important when doing these problems that you use all of the decimal points as given to you, meaning don't round. Rounding is going to drastically change your response. Now, the other thing that you need to notice is that we have time. And in this problem, my time was given to me in 4 months. In order to convert that to years, we have to remember that we have 1 year is the same as 12 months. Therefore, we have 4 over 12, which is going to reduce to 1/3 of a year. Now that we have everything we need, we can simply plug it in. Our formula says I equals PRT. I is what we're trying to find. My principal was 600. My rate is 0.0743, and my time is 1/3. Multiply all those together, and we're going to come out with 14.86, or my interest is $14.86. And this is your result. Okay, let's look at another one here. Here we're telling you that your principal is $22,000, your rate of interest is 3 2/5%, and your year is 1/4 of a year. So the only thing that we need to look at is we need to look at the fact that we are given this rate as 3 2/5%, and we need to convert that to a decimal. So the easiest thing to do first would be to change this into an improper form. So remember, that's going to be bottom times the big number plus the top. Bottom stays on the bottom, and we're still in percent form. So here, when we're looking at that, this is going to be 5 times 3 is 15 plus 2 is 17. So this is 17 over 5%. So here, what we need to do is we need to take this 17 over 5 and turn it into a decimal. So 17 divided by 5 is going to give you 3.4%. We take that and we have to divide this by 100. And so this is going to end up giving us a rate of 0.034. Now that we have a rate, we have everything we need. So again, your interest is going to be PRT. So in this case, we're going to have 22,000 times 0.034 times a quarter. Now the other thing that we could have written it by instead of a quarter is we could have said that we've got our 22,000 times 0.034 times 0.25. Okay, so either one of these would have been perfectly acceptable. When we multiply all of that out, we come out with $187. And so again, in terms of information, this is what we were after. Now both of those examples gave you or spelled out the information you had. However, what happens if your example is in the form of a word problem? Well, in this case, what you have to do is you have to be able to identify the pieces you have out of the problem on your own. So it says, just add water boats borrows $78,000 at 9.5% for 30 days. Find the amount of interest due and the total amount that must be paid after 30 days. So first of all, let's come back up into this first sentence. This first sentence gives us everything we need. First of all, we are borrowing $7,800. That's our P. In terms of our rate, we are told that it is 9.5%. And our T, we are told, is 30 days. So that is all the information that we have. Now the first thing we need to do again is we need to pay attention to the fact that my rate here was 9.5%. So 9.5 is the same as 9.5%. Remember, we have to divide by 100 in order to get our conversion. So my rate here is going to be 0.095. In terms of my time was given to me in the amount of 30 days. Well, I need this to be 1 year. And what's important about a year is that in this case we're going to use 365 days. And here we're going to get a decimal, or we can use the fraction. So we're either going to use, say, just go ahead and use 30 over 365, or if you were to actually do your division, you would come out with a decimal along the lines of 0.082191781. Because this decimal is so long, I would use the fraction using this form right here instead, just to make sure your answer is as accurate as possible. So here again, we first need to find the amount of interest due. So interest is going to be PRT, which is going to be set up by saying that we have 7,800 times the 0.095 times 30 over 365. Now it's very, very simple in your 4-function calculator that I would start with 30 over 365 and then multiply the others to it. When you do that, you're going to come out with your interest being $60.90. And so that is the first part, this right here, of your question, which is the amount of interest due. Now, in order to find the total amount that must be paid back, your total here is going to be that you take your $7,800 and you add in your interest due, which is $60.90. So that's going to give you a total that you owe of $78.60 and 90 cents. And here would be the second result of your problem. So there you have it. You have 3 different types of examples of using simple interest in order to solve your problems. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, just simply remember, your rate has to be a decimal and your time has to be in years. Other than that, keep smiling, enjoy yourself, and I'll see you next time.